Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om. Sumukasya ekadantasya kapilo kajakarnakaha lambodharasya vikato vignarajo vinayakaha dhoomaketurganadhyakshaha palachandro gajananaha vakratundaha surpakarno herambaha skandapurvachaha shuklambaradharam vishnum sasivarnam chaturbhujam prasannavadanam jayet sarva vignopasantaye yasyat viradavakradhya parishadhya parasatam vignam vignanti satatam vishvakshenam tamastraye gurur brahma gurur vishnu gurur devo maheshwaraha gurur sakshat parabrahma tasmai shri gurave namaha Satchidananda Rupaya Krishnaya Aklishtakarine Namo Vedanta Vedyaya Gurave Buddhitakshine Krishnadvaipayanam Vyasam Sarvabhutahite Ratam Vedabja Bhaskaram Vande Samadhi Nilayam Munim Sahasramurte Purushottamasya Sahasranetrarana Padabaho Sahasranam Nam Stavanam Prachastham Niruchyate Janma Jaradishantaye Yudhishthira Uvacha Kimekam Daivatam Loke Kim Vapekam Parayanam Suvantakam Kamarchandaha Prapniyodmanava Subham Ko Dharma Sarva Dharmanam Bhavatah Paramo Mataha Kim Japan Muchyate Jandur Janma Samsara Bandhanat Sri Bhishma Uvacha Jagat Prabhum Deva Devam Anantam Purushottamam Stuvannama Sahasrena Purushas Satatotthitaha. We came up to that point, right?
Right.
So Bhishma says, so he takes up the sixth question, Kim Japan Muchyate Jantuhu Janma Samsara Bandhanat. Right? He takes that and answers that. Jagat Prabhum Deva Devam, right? Anantam Purusha Uttamam. Right? Now that Purushottamam, the Purusha is different from the other Purusha that comes in the next line, right? I understood up to that point, correct? So Namasmaranam and Satatat Purusha Uttitaha, that he says like that, right? So always continuously, without giving up, one do the Namasmaranam. Okay? First to understand that Purusha, that indweller that who is present within, that this Uttamam Purushottam is beyond that. So do Namasmaranam. That's the first Kim Japan to him. Do the Namasmaranam. Right? Then he takes up the fourth question. Okay? Kam Archantaha. Right? To whom do the? Correct? You can refer to the questions if you want.
Yes.
Kam Archantaha Prapniyur Manavas Subham. Okay? Kam Archantaha Prapniyur Manavas Subham. Okay? The fourth question he takes up. Okay. Yes. Kam Archantaha. To whom we should do Archanai to. Now Archanai is something that we have seen before, right? But you understand Stuti, Archanai, Japam, Dhyanam, we covered that last time, correct? Now, all said and done, all these are one and the same. If you do it properly, there is really no difference. But these are the various activities we do, right? So that's why we covered that last time, so I won't go there. So, Kam Archantaha Prapnihu Manavaha Subham. For the welfare, for all the beings. Manavaha, we covered the meaning last time, right? Okay, now we will move on. So the fourth question is now, being answered. Bhishma is answering that. Tameva charchayan nityam bhaktya purushamovyayam dhyayan stuvan namasyamscha yajamanaha tameva cha. Okay, so tameva charchayan nityam bhaktya purusham avyayam dhyayan stuvan namasyamscha yajamanaha tam eva cha. Tam eva, to him only. To whom? To the Jagat Prabhu, Deva Devam, Anantam, Purushottamam. Tam eva, to him only. Right? What should you do? Okay, says tameva cha, and also, okay, tameva cha archayan nityam. Nityam. Okay? The men come this way. Okay. Come forward, you can turn around a little bit and come forward, be close. So, tam eva cha archayan nityam. Nityam. A very important word. Nityam, we covered that last time. We said it means eternal in English, that's the way we transferred. But then we go away. Actually, Nityam means it is in eternal, not only in terms of time, but also in terms of space. Right? And also in terms of the various forms that appear. So it includes all that. Right? So remember, Nityam, that entity that is present all the time, that we call it as prema, so that we can relate to it. Right? If we say bliss, we can relate to it. Bliss, something we seldom we experience. Okay, but everybody in this Janmam Bhagavan shows his presence at least once. We all get a knock on the head at least once in a life, right? That's the clearest indication from Bhagavan. At the same time, he will also show us individually a taste of that bliss. Momentary taste would have been there. If it is not there, it will come. Definitely. Definitely will come. So, that bliss that we can relate to. Happiness we can relate to. But our happiness is temporary. So, the permanent happiness, the bliss, the peace, the shantam, that prema, whatever we call it, the word nityam, that is always present, our conscience, we can relate to that, right? Always present. It doesn't go away any place, right? So that nityam, and then it says, bhaktya purusham avyayam. That bhaktya is very important. Swami says in Bhagavad Gita, the bhaktya prayachami, that means whatever yet bhaktya prayachami is what he says. Okay, whatever you give me, offer me with love, with bhakti, with devotion, that I accept. No, nothing else. Everything else we just for our purpose. But whatever it is, even if as Kannapanana did, even a stone was offered to him with bhakti, he took it. Right? And so that bhaktya, that devotion, purusham avyayam. See, the Sahasranamam, we can, Bhagavan says, we travel that journey with Bhagavan in the company of Bhagavan. Let it come this way. Come forward. Come, you can come forward. Come. And so, the men this side, boys this side, yeah. So, bhakti is very important. When we travel that journey in the company of that Bhagavan, that entity that is present all the time, everywhere. So we got to look into that. Okay. Now here, Purusham. Purusham is the indweller. Not only within me, definitely within me. Definitely we can relate to that personally. That Purusham is the same entity present in everything that I see and come across. How about that feeling? We take that perspective in life, that Purusham, that indweller, okay, that embodied, like Kshetrajna, Bhagavan calls it, Vyasa calls it, Bhagavan calls it in Bhagavad Gita. So that Purusham, avyayam, that indestructible, you cannot destroy it. That destruction takes place only when something is created. But when there is no creation, that's the only entity there is. Where is the destruction? Right? So avyayam, that purusham avyayam, bhaktya purusham avyayam, very important. Right? That nityam, right? Bhaktya archayanne. So archana, we do the Kesavaya Namaha, Narayana Namaha, we do that, right? Archana. Just do that with bhakti. Doesn't matter, whatever form you like, you can worship that. Because the Bhagavan, same Bhagavan is present. But how you do the archana, that is what he is talking about. Okay, with bhakti. Dhyayan, stuvan, namasyam cha. See, 4 activities he gives. Akshayan, dhyayan, stuvan, and namaskara. Right? So, dhyayan we saw. So, the moment I do that Kesavaya Namaha, I think of Kesava, then that immediately the beginning comes, then slowly I start thinking about Bhagavan, keeping his company in my mind, even when I am not in the puja room. Right? And then, okay, so then I do manasikam, you start doing that archana there. Right? And when you do the archana and stuvan, when you think of Bhagavan and also say Kesavaya Namaha, Narayana Namaha, like that you begin, you understand Kesavaya Namaha, this is the meaning of Kesava. Then why immediately you start, that stuti comes in. That worshipful, reverential praise comes in. Understand the meaning, not mechanically. Then automatically, one thing that is guaranteed is when Bhagavan comes, without us realizing it, we will do namaskaram only. Everybody will put their hands together. I guaranteed. That is the power of prema. Even Duryodhana said, I am not going to do namaskaram to Krishna when he comes in, right? They are going to humiliate him. All the strategy they had, right? You all have heard the story, Duryodhana, Dusasana and all that, right? But when Krishna Bhagavan comes there as a messenger of peace, what it automatically hand comes like this. That is something phenomenal. And so that when we do the archana, first start with the archana, and then dhyanam, and then the reverential praise of how can I describe your gunas, right? And so much love that you have got. How can I even begin to describe it? That automatically namaskaram. Namaskaram not only means this, right? It also means namama. I am not doing this. You are the one who is doing this. That feeling will come. When you keep the company of Bhagavan under his shade, automatically you know under whose shade that you are living. That feeling will go away. That bhaktiya, when you start with bhakti, namasmaranam, he says you must do. How to do that namasmaranam comes next. Right? As an answer to 4th question. So bhaktiya, okay, archayan, dhyanam, and Shruti and Namaskaram. Nityam, right? Stuvan Nityam, Namasyam cha, Yajamanaha Tameva cha. It's a beautiful meaning, this one. Tameva cha, Tam Eva. There is only that ascertain, without an iota of doubt. What is that is something there that is so solid and stable and confirmed, affirmed, beyond even the iota of doubt. Tam eva. See, twice it comes. Okay, tam eva. Cha means now. Yajamanaha. Now, we all right now, all of us, I presume, and I know I do, we keep Bhagavan separate from us. Right? Bhagavan is something. So in a young age we were taught Bhagavan is up there. Right? Then later on we learned Bhagavan is everywhere, all around, below, in all directions and all that. But still we keep that Bhagavan, that Nityam, Purusham, Avyayam, we keep that entity separate. Correct? So when you keep him separate like that, and when you love him totally, exclusively, that is what bhakti is. Love for God. and love of God. The same way I love Bhagavan, Bhagavan loves me too. Bhagavan also has got a bhakti towards bhakta. Right? So, but then what do? I love him as something separate, like the way I love my child, and then you heard the Krishna story, you feel good, right? Immediately we all think that Krishna was there in Vrindavanam. That is the way we have been taught, and we don't go beyond that. But we enjoy it. Nothing wrong in that. We all take pleasure in that. That same Krishna is there within me, present within me, and doing the same mischievous activities that we don't think. We think of it as a story here, feel good and come out. So when I worship Bhagavan as a separate from me, right, then that Yajamanaha takes the meaning of being the master, the boss, the leader. Okay? So that way we can do nothing wrong in that, whatever I can relate to. But as I grow more skilled in it, better at it, become better at this, I relating to Bhagavan with bhakti, learning to love Bhagavan over everything else. As I become better and better and more skilled at it, something else takes place. This Bhagavan, this indweller that is within me, the prema, I start looking to it. Then immediately I start employing that. I start riding it as a vehicle, if you can, and dealing with everybody, loving and loving. Then do the archana. Archana, that is what you're doing. Dhyanam, stuti and namaskaram. You see the love beginning to see the love in action. That is namaskaram, right? Then this Yajamanaha, you start sacrificing everything you do, including that I am doing this, that feeling also to it. Yajamanaha also means sacrificer. That is, the first part is Visishta-Advaita or Advaita. So we all love these words, so I'm using this, okay, because immediately we can, the moment I say Visishta-Advaitam, all of you thought of Ramanuja and Iyengar. Did you not? I mean, honestly. And I say Dvaitam, we are all taught to think of Madhvacharya. But that's all, they are all just one form. What is behind it? Right? That's what we have to focus. Yajaman, when you start sacrificing, who is sacrificing to whom, what is being sacrificed? Then we start in that level and experiencing it, the sacrifice itself, yajna, that is taking place all the time, as Purushottam says, all the time, without stop it is taking place. That yajna Purushaha, the entity present in the sacrifice, that's how you start that journey. So, Namasmaranam, Bhakti. Okay? Yajamanaha, Tamevacha. Okay? So, Tamevacharchayan Nityam Bhaktya Purushamavvyayam Dhyayan Stuvan Namasyamscha Yajamanas Tamevacha. Okay? Now, next he takes up question number 3. Okay. Stuvantaha kham prapnyuhu manavaha subham. Stuvantaha kham janma samsara bandhana. See, those things you can add there. Then sarva dukkha upasantiya. Sarva dukkho, that one comes in first slokam. Sarva dukkhadigo bhavet will come. Okay, that will come here. That we can add to all these because they all will make sense. Okay, all those phrases will make sense. So, stuvantaha kham, okay, reverential praise. Now you say archanai, dhyanam and stuti. But who should I do stuti to? Now he is answering in detail. Okay. Anadinidhanam Vishnum Sarvalokamaheswaram Lokadhyaksham Stuvan Nityam Sarvadukkadigo Bhavet. Right? That one and the next one also will take up because this slokam and the next one are both are answers to question number 3. Brahmanyam Sarvadharmajnam Lokanam Kirtivardhanam Lokanatham Mahadbhutam Sarvabhuta Bhavodbhavam. Okay? So we'll take the first slokam first. Anadinidhanam Vishnum Sarvalokamaheeswaram Lokadhyaksham Stuvannityam Sarvadukkadigo Bhavet. Answer that. Now, Anadinidhanam. Okay? Adi means we all know. Beginning. Right? Now, Nidhanam has got several meanings. We will cover with Bhagavan's grace everything and also cover the meaning that is given to us by Sankara Bhagavad Adi Sankara. Nidhanam, one meaning is death. Okay? And another meaning is established, the place where it is established, firmly established. Okay? So, Anadi Nidhanam, that entity, what is the origin, beginning of love? What is the beginning of prema? There is no beginning. There is no end. There is no depth to it. It is Nityam. Right? So, remember, this one entity that is being, different aspects are being described in Sahasranamam. Okay, please understand that. Okay? So now the moment you come to this aspect, birthless and deathless, and you understand, now beautiful meaning that Adi Sankara gives, phenomenal meaning, we all can relate to that personally. So remember, the idea is to do this experience it in a personal way. Anything that you think of, suppose we are all born, we have taken birth now. We all know we came from mother's womb. Okay? Then conception took place. Where was I before the conception took place? Okay? Think. Where anything that appears, where was it before it appeared? Think. So, it's kind of hidden, to put it in a crude manner. Whatever appears was hidden before. You understand? Anything you take, any object, any thought, right, any feeling, it was hidden and then it showed itself. Correct? So two things took place. It was originally hidden, then all of a sudden it shows itself. Then what happens? It starts growing. Hasn't it? Anything you take, even a small baby, ding ding ding, it goes. Right? But does it grow all the time endlessly? It comes up to a point where the growth stops. That is fourth stage. Agreed? But then it doesn't stop there, right? The growth has stopped. What happens? It starts declining. Correct? Declines and declines. And finally it completely declines and disappears. Right? Agreed? This you can attribute this, you can apply this to anything in creation. Anything in creation. This thing will apply. Even if you take your car, it will apply. If you take the little toy, it will apply. Everything will apply. So these 6 stages, I call in Sanskritam, Shadbhava Vikaram. Vikaram means changing. Okay? Appears, keeps on changing, difference. Okay? And Bhava means experience. Shat means 6. So 6 ways we experience. Okay? Now, so I explained that meaning to you. So let me share the Sanskrit words to you because you all love to hear Sanskrit words, so it will sound more authoritative. Okay? Right? When somebody describes a Sanskrit slokam, immediately it becomes authority. We don't understand what it is. So we think this person is, oh my God, sir, highly knowledgeable. It doesn't work like that. You have to understand when somebody gives any Sanskrit slokam, something, you should not be fazed by it or befuddled or flabbergasted by it. You should be, okay, let us see, does he know the meaning? Does he follow what he says? That's the most important, okay? So these words are jayate. That means where it is being hidden. Okay. Now, see, we also, another thing, when you say, in the Hindi we say, jao, means go. Okay, go where? Where you are no longer appearing. Right? That's the final meaning. So, jayate actually means something that is not shown itself yet, that's not manifested itself yet. Okay. Then, the next one is asti. Okay. Namostute, namaha, astu, we say like that. Right? Namaste. So many things we say. So, this asti means manifest. That's the meaning. Okay? So, when we do many, even Vedam and all, the precise meaning, the Bhagavad Gita describes, so beautiful it is. So, I'm sharing with you. Asti. That's the second stage. Then what third stage is what? It is going to start growing. That is vartate. Okay. Every baby grows, cells grow. We all know that. Scientifically, we all know that. Now, then it goes up to a point of maximum growth. Like when you throw a ball, it goes up and then it stops at some point, right? And then it starts coming down, right? So, like that point is called viparinite. That's a word for it, okay? So, viparinamate. Viparinamate means maximum growth. Then, after that, it starts decreasing, declining, right? Now, we call this old age, whatever we call it for us. That name given to us, given by us. But that's what's happening, right? I may call it jara, old age, Then we put a number there, you're 60 years old, 70 years old. No, nothing like that. These are all mere numbers. The entity, constant entity, just goes through these 6 changes as it manifests. Very important. So the Anadinadhanam, I want to explain that. That's why. Okay. The constant entity is beyond these 6 changes. That's a very, very important meaning to understand. So when it starts declining, it's called apakshiyate. The chayan means to change. Okay. Apakshiyate, to start declining, decreasing. Finally, when it disappears, all the declining is gone, then it's gone again. It goes back to jayate, it disappears, right? It goes into the hiding mode. That is called nasyam. Nasyati means to eliminate, right? Nasam, we use the word colloquially, right? So, nasyate. So, these 6 stages, anadi nidhanam, one who is beyond these shadbhava vikaram. What is that entity? That is that prema that is there. And that love is there. It is all the time. You cannot perceive it with the 5 senses. So we call it as hiding. But it is always there. When it manifested in a way I can understand with my eyes or ears or nose or skin or something, then cognizable. Right? Then it goes through these 6 changes. Right? Understand? So, anadi nidhanam. Now, that kind of a thing, Vishnum is present in everything that is created. Not only you, me, we are all that same entity, same prema is present in that, appearing differently and doing its magic and attracting us and repelling us. Okay, based upon how I take it. If I take it lovingly, it's only attraction. Okay, then selfishness, we talked about that. There's another issue. So now, this Vishnu, not only in physical things, the distant sun or the star or a speck of sand or so many friends we have and human beings and children and elderly people with different colors and different languages. No. Same entity, it is present, Vishnu. Then, it is present in a leaf as well as a seed that's coming up or a dog or a snake. It's exactly the same. Then, another interesting thing it does. Then, the thoughts I have, it is present in that thought. Okay? The feelings I have, is present in that. Okay? So, not only the physical appearing things, but also the cognizable, invisible things. Can I see sound? I cannot. But it is present in that. Do you understand? So, this Vishnu, Anadi Nidhanam, now you understand, without change. Vishnu Sarvaloka Maheswaram. Lokam. The moment we say lokam, world, that's the way we are taught. First, let us start educating ourselves for some of the wrong things we learned. Before we can fill a pot, the pot is already full of rubbish. How can I pour something nice into it? I have to empty it, isn't it? So, like our mind is like that. It's got so much rubbish, so many wrong things. We have to get rid of that to understand the correct thing. Fortunately, you are young, so you can get the right thing right to start with. So, with less rubbish as you grow up, right? Now, lokam. Yes, we can say world, nothing wrong with that, but that's not the real meaning. See, there are so many, not only that in the physical appearance that I mentioned to you, but so many feelings, right? So many essences that are taking place. Everything we do has got an essence in it, but the essence appears differently, right? Do you understand? So everything in this whole prapancha, the whole universe, prapancha means something that is made with its 5 elements, right? So everything in that, Sarvaloka Maheswaram, the master, the controller, the ruler, the one. And how does he rule this whole thing? How does he control the whole thing? He is also the law that is in operation. Inviolable, unbreakable law. Inviolable means something that you cannot break, something that you cannot disobey. Okay? So that rules over you. That's what inviolable means. Okay? So that inviolable law that is present, that Bhagavan is there. And what is that law? What is this Maheswaram? Remember, Anadi Nidanam. It is present without the 6 changes. Vishnu, it is present in everything. And then it's also Iswaram. So what is the law? How is it present? The only law that operates is, if I am Prema, you are also Prema. Everything is Prema only. And what is the nature of Prema? Is to give Prema and to receive Prema. The only rule that is in operation is to give love and receive love. To share the Prema that I have. That's all the only rule. Everything else is subsidiary to it. Sarvaloka Maheswaram. With that, how is he present? Not passively, in a very dynamic manner. Everything appears effulgent, right? When somebody loves you, immediately you become happier, right? And that comes out. That becomes effulgent. That shines forth, isn't it? That way he is present as Sarvaloka Maheswaram. You understand? Anadi Nidanam, Vishnu. Personally you can relate to this. Now you begin to see, oh, to him I must do the stuti. I must reverentially praise him. He doesn't need my praise. But when I praise him reverentially, I become part of him, part of that entity. I become more and more loving, isn't it? Right? And that entity is not touched by anything. Whether I praise or whether I deride it, it doesn't matter. But when I do that, I become more of it. Do you understand? So, Loka Maheswaram, Lokadhyaksham. This is the effulgence. Adhyaksham, as Paramacharya says, Adhyaksham means leader, commander. Another meaning, Adi Sankara says that Ksha comes in this here, Aksham, means to do something with you see. Okay? So, Loka Adhyaksham. Not only is he the leader, the master, right? But he is the leader that we are all most comfortable with, because it will come later. He means that only our well-being and welfare. There is no game, there is no agenda, there is no stabbing in the back, there is no politics, nothing. In Bhagavan's Darbar, there is no politics. It's so beautiful, because he really, really cares for us. How does he care for us, and how does he take care of us? By telling us all the time, but showing us all the time through our 5 senses. Seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting and touching, right? That's how we relate to the world. but the world is nothing but Bhagavan. So it relates back to us through those five senses, and it shines forth in a way I can see. It shines forth in a way I can hear. And it always telling me, I'm here, look to me, look to me. That adhyaksham, effulgence. And when I look to you, you're seeing me. How? That Bhagavan is looking at me. Do you understand? So that way he is shining forth. That's another meaning. That's the way he is looking at me. I'm protecting you. I'm taking care of you. Don't worry. Right? So that's another meaning of lokadhyaksham. You understand? Now you can relate to this personally. The moment you start relating to this personally, how will you not do stuti? How will you not do archanai? Think. That is how powerful this. And he himself says, Bhishma himself defers to Vyasa. Beautifully it will come. That's such a beautiful treasure this Vishnu Sahasranamam is. Okay? Lokadhyaksham stuvan nityam sarva dukkha adigo bhavet. Sarva dukkadigo bhavet. Sarva dukkha adigaha bhavet. Sarva dukkham. Okay. Does any of us want dukkham other than Kunti? Kunti was the only one who wanted dukkham because she will be thinking of Krishna all the time. We all think of God when we are in trouble. Right? So if I have trouble all the time, I'm always thinking of God. Simple. But all of us do not want dukkham. Now where does dukkham mean? Difficulties, misery, sadness, obstacles, so many things there. How does it take place? There are three types. Please understand. So I'll briefly cover as Adi Sankara himself has given. Okay. What is the two types? And again the Sanskrit words. Adhyatmikam, Adi Bhautikam, Adi Daivatam is what it says. Adhyatmikam, Adi Daivatam, Adi Bhautikam. Okay. So you can very easily remember these words. And Arjuna himself asks Krishna to say, tell me what Adhyatmikam is. Okay. What is Adi Bhautikam is. Like that. Okay. So it's a very important thing. So I'm using those words. Okay. Because Shankara Bhagavad also uses this. Okay. So that let us relate to personal. Remember, God is not separate. He is not separate. He is very much me. I am very much Him. That is what we have to think. I am God only. That's how we must start thinking. And then when you think like that and start believing that, you will start behaving in a godly way, not in an animal way. Right? And all his anger and all will go away, will rush away, will not be anywhere near you. So, this Adhyatmikam. Three types of difficulties created. One is by the difficulties created by myself. This myself means this entity within this body and this mind. I say something wrong, I hurt somebody. Okay, it's like body, you go there, I hit against a door, I get pain. I mean, it's as simple as that. Everything you do, got a reaction, resound, and reflect. And we call it as karma and all this. Those whatever we did in previous janma, those are all intellectually important. But what is important is how you live today, this moment, and moving forward. Okay, what is past is past. Bhagavan is taking care. Oh, it doesn't matter. If I'm having difficulty, something I did doesn't matter. I should focus on Bhagavan. You understand? So don't go on the intellectual journey, go on the heart, the journey of the heart. Make sense? Mm-hmm. So focus the mind on the heart. Forget the past. That's absolutely not important. So, Adhyatmikam, if I create problem today, this moment, then I can avoid that by doing Namasmarana. Now, Adi Daivatam. Again, speaking personally. We have five senses. You are looking at me, I am looking at you, you are hearing me, you can speak, you can sing, right? But who is actually seeing? Right? Now our rishis say our vision is given by the sun. Sun is appearing as our vision. Okay, we have to understand that. The moon is appearing like our mind. Our mind is nothing but reflection of the moon. The vision, ability to see is nothing but reflection of the sun. But we think sun is so many thousand miles away as a globe moving around. That's one part of education, but we have to go beyond that, understand it properly. The life force, the entity, the power within, that is called, it is now, that power is shining as my vision. power is shining as my hearing, right? Deva means effulgence. We talked about it last time. Something that shines forth is Deva. If you've got a good behavior, that means there is a Daivic quality, that Deva is shining within you, right? Understand? Simple, that's all it is. And Indra and all these names we give, they all mean different things. But Deva simply means shining forth, something that's effulgent. Okay? So, the energy that is shining forth in this light, we say light is shining, but light is not shining. There is some other thing, that in electricity we say, but what gives the electricity that power to make it shine? That effulgence, the in-effulgence, that is what Bhagavan is. So, the Sarva Dukkha. So, Adi Daivatam. Adi Daivatam, that effulgence within us, that also can have obstacles. As you grow older, you lose your eyesight, hearing goes down, right? Or some accident takes place immediately. Even though you may have an eye, you lose the eyesight, you may lose. So many things can take place. So obstacles can take place. So many dukkangal can come. And Adi Bhautikam. Now, there are difficulties caused to us by myself or by organs, so to speak, the power. And third one is from things from outside, from nature. I can have hurricane, I can have floods, I can have some animals come in and hit. So many things. The obstacles and difficulties and challenges may come. Adikaha. Adikaha means eliminated, nullified, removed without even a trace. So when you do Stuvan Nityam, Sarva Dukkadigo, Sarva Dukka Adikaha Bhaved, it will be. You understand? So, Anadi Nidhanam Vishnu Sarvaloka Maheswaram Lokadhyaksham Stuvan Nityam Sarva Dukkadigo Bhaved Brahmanyam Sarva Dharmajnam Lokanam Kirtivardhanam Lokanatham Mahat Bhutam Sarva Bhuta Bhavo Bhavam Stuvan Nityam Sarva Dukkadigo Bhaved Brahmanyam. Brahmanyam. Now, we all have heard the word Brahman, Brahmana, okay, Brahma, all it's a common word, right? We all have heard this at some point or another. That these are all good things that happen to us in our childhood. We hear some good words that stick with us throughout our life. Okay, Brahma we know, no problem. Rama, the word Rama, who doesn't know the word Rama, you tell me. So, the most powerful word, it comes. This is the beauty. This is how Bhagavan takes care of us. You understand? Without us realizing, He is taking care by giving us, right from young age onwards, good stuff has gone in. Right? Whether we pay attention to it or not, it is protecting us. Okay? So, Brahmanyam means, now there is a beautiful Sanskrit word called Hitam. Hitam means something that is really, really good. Not just temporarily good, permanently good. Something that is really comforting, very beneficial. Okay, Hitam. Okay? Now, Brahmanyam means this entity, this prema that we are thinking of, for lack of better word, to experience it personally, I'm using the word prema as Upanishad himself says, as Bhagavan himself taught me. But you cannot include him by the word prema. He's beyond all the words. But you can experience him. The moment I say love, we all can experience love. That's why I'm using that word. Okay. So that Brahmanyam, that he does Hitam, is what to Brahman. Okay. Now there are four meanings that Adi Sankara has given for this Brahma. One is Brahma. Okay. Immediately I say Brahma, I think of four heads and Veda Purusha, who is the creator, right? Who creates, who comes from the Nabhi of Mahavishnu. That's fine. Nothing wrong in that, right? So, how did this Brahma come from the Nabhi of Mahavishnu, of Narayana, Hitam, right? So, creation, the creator, that had been delegated. Bhagavan is the super boss. Really, really. He does only one job. All the other jobs he has delegated. You want education, there is a department for it. You want wealth, there is a department for it. You want to remove your illnesses, there is a department for it. But if you want moksham, Bhagavan, the super boss takes over. Everything else is delegated. So if you want to go to the Parayanam, the final place, you must go to which button to push. You must know. But if you want, Swami, I will do this myself, okay, you will back off and watch. Oh no, Saraswati, Saraswati is one form. I want good education. Fine, he will give you that. Because the same Bhagavan will give you through that department. But the moksha department, not delegated. It's like the Prime Minister holding on to one particular thing by himself. It's not delegated. Everything else is delegated. So if I love him, immediately he will respond. That is what Kunti did, Pandavas did, everybody did, straight to the department. Okay? That's why when you hear their stories, we feel so good. Okay? Now, this Brahmanyam, whose hitam, whose benefit to the creation, the creator, the Brahma aspect, why all creation is good only, hitam only, isn't it? Everything is good only. If you see through the eyes of love, I shared this with you, so I want to share this with my brothers here who have joined. They have not heard it. So powerful mantra that you can take it and for the rest of your life. Seen through the eyes of love, okay, all beings are beautiful. Okay, all thoughts are innocent and all actions are sacred. That is how Bhagavan looks at us. That is why Rama did not want to shoot that arrow and kill Ravana, because it's not another child, misbehaving. That's all. Right? For a mother. So, that Brahmanyam, everything is hitam only. Even though it goes through the six changes, it is done for the purpose of sharing love. The love in play, that's all that is taking place. Nothing else. Okay? Now, another meaning of Brahman is Vedam. Okay? So, Brahmanyam. Right? Another Vedam, Another meaning is, Brahma means, remember, it means it's most expansive. The love is the only one that expands. That's the root word, meaning of Brahm. That means that. So, what is it that's most expansive and always expanding? Only prema, nothing else. Everything will contract. That Brahman does not have the six changes. It does not decline. Its nature is to expand. Like the way air expands when you put it into a room or a thing, when you open something, water you put in a pot, it expands to the shape of the pot, right? Just like that. Now, so we covered Tavam, right? And we covered Tapas. Tapas I have not covered yet. Vedam we covered and Brahma we covered, right? Now, look what's happening to each one of us. This is how Bhagavan is present within each one of us. Okay, not outside. Everything I am sharing with you, you can relate to it personally, right? You're not thinking of a temple or a Garbhagraham and all that. It is all here. The Garbhagraham is right here. Okay. So what is the third thing? Tapas. Now, tapas means, the real meaning is heat. Okay? Heat. Tapas means heat. That's heat. Sudu Sholrame. So that's what it is. But when does tapas come? When does heat come? When something rubs against another. Agreed? Okay. Now, physically we fall ill, we call it fever, temperature goes up. We all know, because there is a outside entity has come and fighting and this rubbing takes place. So-called friction takes place. Right? Same friction is taking place mentally. Right? We have so many agitations in our mind. I want something and have to get it. It doesn't happen. So many things taking place in our mind. That agitations in the mind taking place. That is why mind is always restless and hot. It is called jwaram. as Vigadajvaraha says Swami in Bhagavad Gita. Give up that fever of your mind. Okay? So how can mind be peaceful when you don't have any desires? The moment you have a desire, friction starts. Okay? Fever, heat starts taking place. Tapas means removal of that heat. It means heat as well as removal of the heat. See, the moment a friction takes place, a heat is generated, it gets dissipated. The process of purifying your thoughts is tapas. That, and it does only benefit, isn't it? The more loving I become, my thoughts become more pure. So who's doing the benefit? Who's giving the benefit there? That person who gives that benefit in that form is Brahmanyam. Okay? And fourth meaning of Brahmanyam is one who loves Brahmanas. This is where it becomes extremely personal. Brahmana does not mean a place or a lineage or a family you are born in. Remove that meaning from your mind entirely, as it has been taught to us repeatedly. Okay? Who is a Brahmana? Asked Yaksha to Yudhishthira, and he has answered so beautifully. Same message comes everywhere. Okay? Maitro Brahmana Uchyate. Simple. Maitro. The person who loves everything and everybody, firstly, he is a Brahmana. And that person is most dear to Bhagavan. He himself says in Bhagavad Gita, yes, all of you love me, fine, but who do I love the most? I love you guy also, but I love the person most who shares that love and puts his play of love in action. The reason that I have created you is to go and show your love to everybody. If you do that, I love you very much. That, then you become a Brahmana, Maitro, to all beings. Ultimately, we can even love a snake, even love an enemy. We all can love our friends. So who somebody is loving to me, I can love very easily. But can I love somebody who is enigmatic to me, who is obnoxious to me, cruel to me? Think, slowly we will evolve. As that person who is guiding us in the process and taking our hand and doing hitam, good to us, benefit to us, Brahmanyam. Okay? Brahmanyam, Sarvadharmajnam, Sarvadharmajnam. Okay? Lokanam Kirtivardhanam. Very good. So, Sarvadharmajnam, Sarvadharman Parityajya, Mam Ekam Sharanam Braja, he says. Yeah, that's a final teaching, summary, so to speak, right? To do the Shruti properly, Namasmaranam properly, Dhyanam, whatever we call it, to keep the company of Bhagavan, simply put in our modern language, and to keep the company and take him with us wherever we go, even though he is coming with us all the time, he is not going anywhere, but I need to take him with me. When I go in the car and sit and start my engine, there's nobody else in the passenger seat in the front, I must put a seat belt because Bhagavan is sitting there. I must take him with me all the time, wherever I go. Because that way I keep his company. He is always keeping my company. But I must keep his company. Right? Now, to do that, with Sarva Dharmajnam, we have so many questions in life. What is the right thing to do? Is it the right thing to do? So many times, every moment a challenge comes. You think you have done something right, another challenge comes. How do you behave? How do you conduct yourself? How to think? Right? How to speak? So many challenges. When things are going nicely, here we are talking good things. Suppose a situation comes, or go into an office work, because many unethical things take place. What do I do? How do I do this? Conscience pricks. So, the dharmas, this is what Yudhishthira went and asked him earlier to Bhishma. And Bhishma answered all the questions before the Sahasranamam started. Dharmas can be so many. I have a dharma of a wife, dharma of a child, dharma of a sister, dharma of a brother, dharma of a worker, dharma of a boss. So many things. Dharma of a driver when you go in the car. So many, and as you grow older and younger, so many things. It's baffling. Okay? But what is the dharma that is the supreme most of all the dharmas? Sarva dharmajnam, that is him. And that is Swadharma, as it says in Bhagavad Gita. Swadharma. Swa. The word Swa, Swami, we say, right? Swa, Swayam Varam. You heard that word. Swa means the owner, my own self, conscience, to put it simply. And what is that dharma that is a Sarva Dharmajnam? Is to act in consonance, in line with your conscience. Be loving. Put it in a simple way. That prema supersedes everything. Prema means selfless love. Not just, our love is all conditional. I love you, if you give me this. You are my daughter, so I love you. Do I love another daughter the same way, somebody else's daughter the same way I love mine? See, think. This is where the selfishness comes in. Right? So, but Bhagavan is unconditional, selfless. That dharma of sharing that and operating on that basis is Sarva Dharmanyam. That supreme most dharma. I'll cover the first line and then we will cover Bhashya. Okay? And the Brahmanyam, Sarva Dharmanyam, Lokanam Kirti Vardhanam. Okay? We talked about Loka, right? Now, in this world, and in our thoughts, mental world and physical world, all the things that are changing, one beautiful thing is taking place. If you really take a moment and look at it, a phenomenal thing is taking place. Okay? Kirti. Kirti means, we say, fame, reputation is another way to say it. But everything that takes place has got a fame or reputation because it shines forth. Isn't it? Out of that we select the good ones, yes. If we think of Paramacharya, even now his kirti is so big, even now we pay obeisance to him mentally, right? Because the goodness, right? So look, who's making this kirti, this reputation, this fame shining forth on all the universe? The character, the good character, why it is important. Who's making that grow? Who's making that shine? Who's making that prominently seen? Right? What is that entity that is taking place? He is the one who is doing that. Promoting the good. Bhagavan, Loka Kirti Vardhanam. Okay, Sarva Loka Kirti. What is Sarva Loka? Lokanam Kirti Vardhanam. Okay, do you understand? So, this is how the love operates. It keeps in operating mode. Do you understand? So, Brahmanyam, Sarva Dharmanyam, Lokanam, Kirti Vardhanam. Lokanatham, we'll take it up in our next class. Okay? And I'll close the recording and then after that we'll take questions, comments and all that. Okay? Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Hari Om Samasta Lokaha Sukhino Bhavantu Samasta Lokaha Sukhino Bhavantu Samasta Lokaha Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om.